I have these fleeting thoughts sometimes and I don't want them to escape me, so I'm going to express myself right now. Disclaimer. Join me while I sit here and eat directly out of this peanut butter jar with a spoon because I'm out of food. I'm just watching these Asians make this amazing noodles on YouTube. Let me show you what they're doing. The user's name is Tamo, T-A-M-O _T-Y-A-N. I've helped open a few restaurants and I've been in the food industry for a long time. I wanted to be a chef, but the people that I knew that had culinary degrees told me not to do it. Because the scheduling, and even with your culinary degree, you still wind up fighting. But my point is this. Japanese noodle making is an art. The Japanese people focus really hard on mastery of whatever craft or skill it is that they're pursuing in life. And the angel hair thin noodles are a wonderful thing. I really like Asian food, and I'm not Asian. But I really like Asian food. Actually, I cook a lot of it. My point is this. Donald Trump's introducing these tariffs all over the place. And now they're saying that people like me who are on Snap, and I'm on Snap and I'm in the situation that I'm in because of what this government is doing. If they were not attacking marginalized groups or attacking women, which is like half of the population, so ladies, we should not be putting up with this and we need to get these fools in check, even if these dudes don't want to. Yeah. No, they destroyed everything in my life, and I'm now left here in the middle of nowhere without a car as a result of what Donald Trump's been doing. I got no reason to be happy about it. I got no reason to be nice about it, and I have no intention of being nice about it either. This is why we can't have nice things. You know, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to report on every damn thing that they do until something's done about this. My civil rights are being violated. And I'm watching all this stuff about tariffs being one of the main things that people are freaking out about over the economy. Rightfully so. He keeps introducing all these tariffs and it can lead, you know, it can worsen inflation, and quite literally just the tariffs alone can cause a recession. He's being very erratic about it. You know, I might be able to maybe show some support for maybe some tariffs and some sanctions if they weren't being done blindly and recklessly and against our foreign, what used to be our foreign allies in trade. You know, a presidential term only lasts 4 years. There should be restrictions on the things that a president is allowed to do. They shouldn't be able to just wreck the living shit out of the whole fucking country and violate the crap out of the law. Anyways, my point is this, okay? When it comes to the way that the world is now, it is 2025. And I like my Japanese noodles. And I like being able to eat ramen, and I like to enjoy a variety of foods and have a good time, you know, in life in general. I like talking to all kinds of different people, see what their experience in life has been like, you know, talk about the good things in life. We need more of those kinds of good things than what we're seeing right now. But when it comes to the fact that the United States has been impoveritizing the world, you know, it was the richest country in the world. I don't know how long that's going to last with Donald Trump in power, and I do think that there's a very good chance that he may be working with BRICS to financially dismantle the United States for that reason. But I don't think that's a good thing, and I have my own personal opinions about that. I mean, if what you're going to do is try to put tariffs on countries that are our allies, have been for a very long time, that is very strange behavior. You know, I mean, when I look at what's going on with the wars, I see that Netanyahu and Vladimir Putin seem to be aggressors. And I think if anybody's going to get sanctioned, it should be those people. I don't know why we're sanctioning aluminum. But I do know that the cost of canned goods is up, and I see that they're trying to control what I choose to eat now by determining what they decide is a junk food. Well, does that mean I can't have tuna anymore? Because it certainly looks like I can't. Buying a couple cans of tuna is like buying a fucking steak, and steaks are expensive right now. So if you're not here in the United States, I'm in the United States. The simple fact of the matter is you can't just suddenly change the entire trade policy of the entire fucking country and put everybody out of business and just keep flipping the on-off switch for the economy like this. Other than that, we are in a global market, and this is what people need to understand. Olive oil comes from the Middle East. My bomb-ass noodles come from Japan. I eat a lot of rice. You know, all kinds of stuff. Our semiconductors. We don't have the minerals to produce worthwhile semiconductors here. So, and as far as our ability to protect ourselves in the future of warfare, considering that China will be the ones that are taking off with that, you know, if he just wants to put us behind and everything. Another thing I think is really weird is doing this, you know, restricting metals to the United States while instigating war. But as far as these countries are concerned, first of all, one of the things we could be doing is sanctioning the, like, what, 300 billion or something? A shit ton of fucking money that the United States is spending on wheat from Russia. Donald Trump is demanding that all these countries stop buying oil from Russia, but you know what? We could start by setting the example by sanctioning wheat or whatever. Put tariffs on wheat. We'll put tariffs on fucking everything. Why don't you tariff one of the global aggressors that you claim to be against? Start there. Instead of having this negative impact on American business. You know, I have my own business. I went to school for business. That's what I'm going to keep talking about. I'm going to keep talking about business, money, and the economy. And, you know, the clothes that I'm selling, they come from Bangladesh. Bangladesh has a large population of people that they do a lot of clothing manufacturing in Bangladesh. And I have no problem with making sure that I'm keeping other people in other countries employed. They deserve a right to live as much as I do. The clothing that I am using is supposed to be more eco-friendly. I found the best products that I could based on what's available out there right now. And that is how I intend to run my business. And it is only going to amplify if I can get my business successful. But the thing about it is the reason why these countries haven't just, you know, said fuck you and walked away with all this stuff going on. Do you think that if Bangladesh... So first of all, clothing manufacturing pollutes the environment quite a bit, and that's part of the reason why I'm trying to do the eco-friendly stuff. Doing what I can to do my part on that end, but I personally don't have a problem with outsourcing for that reason in general. I see this as a global community. We are all human beings on this earth. We have our countries that we belong to, and everybody needs to stop fighting. It's just stupid. I would much rather be having a conversation with a person in a foreign country about their cat than watching people get bombed and starving and shit. But if this is what's happening in the world, I want to know the truth too. So I don't want the truth to be shut off from me. My point is this. First of all, not only is Donald Trump telling these other countries that they need to freeze, this has been an ongoing issue. For anybody who's not already aware, like... fuel supplies for people in Europe. It gets cold north of the equator, okay? And they need to have fuel to stay warm in the winter, or else people will freeze and they'll probably die. If Bangladesh, for example, has got a bunch of like clothing manufacturing facilities and that's how everybody's making a living out there, what do you think they're gonna do? Just bulldoze the buildings and start farming there? You think that's good soil? It can't just be done like that. We're in a global trade market. And this is not how the world works. Not only is he going to put us years behind in technology and functionality in general, people are going to be all living on the streets and shit if we let this maniac continue doing what he's doing. We're probably going to get attacked since, he's like throwing people into concentration camps, and on the global stage it looks really scary, but since he's making international threats. But it's just something to think about. Like, I'm just looking at these noodle makers. They're really skilled at what they're doing, and they sell noodles. And that's what international commerce is. That's what global trade is, We have our things that we do that we're good at, and we share. And I do think that it makes life better. I don't support some of the things that we're seeing with the, enslavement of people in a variety of countries. But that is what the billionaires and rich executives have been doing, and apparently now they plan to do it here. None of this is benefiting us or the people of the world. It's just benefiting these few guys who are just going to go somewhere else and do this to other people some more. You're screwing with people's entire, what they know and everything they've spent their lives on to survive and be good at something and share good things with the world. This is just disgusting, and the fact that there's 340 million of us here in the country and we're all just sitting here in shock and awe letting this fucker do this shit blows my mind. Like, I just personally, I don't like this bystander watch this one man who is the most despicable that anybody could ever possibly even dream up, in my opinion. A criminal, a rapist. He's convicted rapist, so I'm going to say it. Those words are going to come out of my mouth. Somebody who's committed fraud several times, and we're just going to let this guy do all this shit. We're just going to sit here and be like, oh my god, people are dying, but we're going to do nothing about it. But yeah, anyways, global trade, this is why we can't have nice things. Like, I like tasty noodles. Are you just gonna make it so I can't have tasty noodles anymore because you're a fucking piece of shit? I'm sorry, I personally don't feel like I need Donald Trump and RFK and these, RFK is a heroin junkie. He said that publicly. He has publicly announced it. You can Google it. An alcoholic in charge of our military. I see strange behavior happening in our Congress that makes me wonder if people are on substances quite frequently. I got my whole life I've been living. I ain't trying to change everything that I know and understand just to give it to somebody who's completely delulu and wants to harm everybody. These guys are so entitled that they think, J.D. Vance thinks he can open the waterways just so he can have it lifted up for his stupid kayak ride. They think they're that fucking special. And I don't know why they're being treated like they are. I don't see how they're special. I see a gross old man that's like painting his face orange. That is the most disgusting being I've ever seen on this earth. I heard that he craps his pants, I mean, he can't hardly function. He can't formulate sentences. He's pooping his pants. and destroying our international relationships, and people are losing their lives all over this gross old man that has all these criminal charges for doing the most despicable things to other people, that can't even formulate complete sentences and is shitting himself. And we're gonna all sit here and just be like, oh my god. When is this nightmare gonna end? Like, when are we gonna, like, resume with normal fucking life? Is that possible? Can we figure that out? All the people up in our governmental system that are allowing all of this shit are a bunch of fucking cowards, man. I would say not just as bad as the administration themselves, but worse, because they're just complacent, because they're just that pathetic. This is why we can't have nice things. I really like tasty noodles. And I think that people who are skilled in their trades and skilled in what they have to offer the world ought to be able to share. And I don't think that all of my money and all of our money and all of the nation's money should be funneled into Target and Walmart and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and the Texas governor and the Governor DeSantis of Florida. And I don't think human trafficking in public in front of everybody like this is acceptable either. These people need to be facing criminal charges. I'm just so mad. I am disgusted at what I'm seeing. I'm just getting upset watching these fine ass noodles being made, thinking about how that we're not even going to be able to have shit like that anymore. And the rest of the world's doing fine. Everybody's just fine, living their fucking lives. Unless you're in America, then there's a psychopath